I have already picked out my next book, which I have already started reading, so I'll insert that clip here. I recorded this yesterday morning just so I had something to order if I needed to order it. So that's inserted here. Hi guys, so I'm just going to shake these up, the baskets here, and pick out my next book. So here's all the cards, let me give them a shake. Right, so there they all are, closing my eyes, not that you can tell, but I'm closing my eyes. And I'm going in. Oh, right, got blue one. Ooh! Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel, a science fiction. I am happy about this, although I've not heard great things about this one. So yeah, I'm currently reading Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I actually managed to find it on BorrowBox, so I'm reading it for free on there through my library, which is really good. I'm quite enjoying it so far. There's not much sci-fi, it's quite a slow start at the minute, but we're sort of meeting the characters. I believe it's a time travel story. I believe. I could be wrong. I've only just got past the first part, but it's good so far. But obviously I'll discuss this more in my Sea of Tranquility vlog. Hi guys, sorry I've been so awful at doing updates this week. Honestly, I don't know where the week has gone. I am exhausted, but it's Friday. I've just finished work, thank God. Not that work was the issue, but I'm just so tired. I need to, I'm just so tired. We've got such a busy weekend ahead as well. Like, this would be the one weekend where I would have loved to have had a relaxing weekend, but yeah. And sorry about the angle. I've like propped you against my work laptop because I just don't have the strength to hold you up. But yeah, it's Friday. I've got redoing my nails tonight, which is going to take me 2 hours. I don't know if I think I mentioned it in another video, but I do. Oh God, the lighting's awful. Yeah, no, hold you. There we go. So yes, I do gels. I took them off, the ones that were left off last night. I don't know what happened with this set because I've never had a nail peel off since I started doing it. I've had like where the nail is broken, like the tips flake a little bit, but like come off there, and where I've chewed them obviously. But like, yeah, I've never, almost this whole hand has flaked. I don't know what I did wrong. There was a couple of times where I accidentally cured without removing the excess off my skin. So maybe that was it. So I need to make sure I definitely am on that tonight when I do them. I'll probably just do the same colour again. Yeah, anyway, you're not here for me to talk about my nails, you're here for a reading update. So I finished Becoming by Michelle Obama, the audiobook, a few days ago. And I started listening to Educated by Tara McEwen, is that her name? Let me check. By Tara Westover. Really interesting. I like my true crime, and there's a podcast I listened to that did a series called Sinister Societies, which was sort of about cults and other societies. And I'm finding this really interesting. But not that they're a cult. I mean, I guess they might be kinda, because they're like a Death Day community and they're trying to be like off the grid and stuff like that. So interesting. Honestly, highly recommend giving it a listen or a read. Obviously, it is a very, very popular, well, it was popular quite a few years ago, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a part of the revival. Yeah, doing that. And yeah, I finished Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama's Becoming, when was it? Was it Wednesday? Might have been Wednesday. I highly recommend reading that as well. It was quite sad at the end though, when she was talking about how the news broke 6 months before the elections about, the whole the Trump dodgy stuff that he said. I won't quote it because I'll probably get in trouble for that on YouTube, but everyone knows what I'm talking about, and how in shock she was by that coming out. And she did a speech not long afterwards, basically saying this isn't what a leader should be like. And then when he got voted in, she said something along the lines of, I'm just shocked that this many women voted for him, when they got the reader stats. And it was just so sad. And she was saying things about how a lot of the hard work that her and Barack Obama had done in the government had already been reversed by Trump within the 2 years of her writing and releasing the book. And it's just awful. But yeah, I recommend that. I'm almost halfway through Sea of Tranquility, which I am enjoying. I wouldn't say we are starting to get the sci-fi elements now, so I don't really know what I can say about it. And I'm almost halfway through. It's quite difficult to describe, but basically I feel like it might have something to do with pandemics. So the first character you see is in 1912 in Canada. I believe that might be the year Spanish flu started. And he's like gentry man. He's very anti-colonialism, and he gets exiled to Canada by his dad, who I think his dad and mum were both born and met in India, but they're both British. So their parents were like colonists, colonialists, whatever the word is. He's very anti that, and he's like a second or third born son, so he's not going to inherit the dukedom or anything from his parents. And then you're following a woman from early 2020, and she is trying to investigate what happened to one of her friends who apparently is dead. The last time they saw her, she was on a boat and she wasn't on the boat anymore, so they're assuming she fell off into the sea and died, but no body's been recovered. So we're following her, and then we jump forward to like, was it 2203 or something like that, and you're following an author, in this case a famous author. Well, one of her books had sort of kicked off. She lives on a colony on the moon. This is where the sci-fi element is starting to come in. She lives on a colony on the moon, but she's going round on Earth doing sort of like a book tour, because they're releasing a paperback version of her book, which has been turned into a film. And she's left behind her husband and her daughter, and her husband is an architect, and there's something to do with a weird building that he's having to design, which connects to a police station in the government building. And there's like sort of inklings of some illness that has been contained in New Zealand. This is where I think it might be to do with a pandemic, because they mentioned the pandemic in 2020 with the character I'm assuming is a time traveller. And I've just met the fourth character, who's the one who has also appeared in 2 of the previous stories. So he may or may not be the one in the first story. Does that make sense? So he may or may not be a character in the 1912 story, but he was definitely in the 2022 and the one that's in the 2200s or whenever it was. And he's in, was it 2400 or something? And he lives in the same colony as, the same moon colony as the author character, but that's all I know at the minute. But he's named after a character in that author's book, and he also met the author and has also met the woman who's trying to find answers about her friend who died. So yeah, it's so confusing, because obviously I don't know what's happening at the minute. It's very calm. I probably would say it's more of a cozy read. If you want a cozy sci-fi, it's not like a high stakes dramatic fighting pew pew thing, at least not at the minute. As I say, I'm just about to hit halfway. I'm reading it on Libby, so it was free on my Libby account, which has made me very happy because I don't have to buy it. But if I enjoy it, I will buy it. But they do it so each page is like a page of your screen. So I'm on page like 200 and something out of 457, and I don't know how that translates to the actual book, because the actual book's only about 250 pages, so it's relatively short. Yeah, it's alright so far. I might read Station 11. Is it Station 11? I think that's what she also wrote. Or no. Something like that. That's by Emily St. John Mandel. Might give that a read at some point, but yeah. It's alright so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to DNF it. It's probably around a 3-star at the minute, but we'll see. If the ending gets better and there's a little bit more action, because I quite like quite action-driven stories. I need the pew-pews and the fighting with swords and things for me to enjoy it, but oh god. But yeah. So this weekend, I needed a chill weekend, but instead, so if anyone's a rugby union fan, you'll know Six Nations is on, and tomorrow there are 3 Six Nations games and also a UFC fight apparently. So we're going back to Chris's hometown. We're going to the pub with all of his mates and their girlfriends, so it's gonna be a nice couples day with a lot of alcohol. I'm gonna have a very healthy weekend with loads of alcohol and loads of takeaways. We're having Mackie's breakfast for breakfast because we want to like line our stomachs, and then this pub we're going to just do basically like fully loaded chips or burgers or pizzas, or they do like a pile of chicken, which is what I might have because I'm not really a big fan of eating burgers out and about because they're so messy. I just get them all over me, and I'm wearing white tomorrow and stuff, so it's just like no. And then we're having pizza for dinner on Sunday. It's all a thing. It's all a thing. I just need like a chill weekend, honestly. I don't know if you have got bags. I have got bags. I'm very tired. So yeah, we're going to be drinking from 12 until God knows how late. I'm going to be so drunk. I'm going to have to try and pace myself and eat probably a lot of shit food. And then Sunday, obviously, is Mother's Day if you're in the UK. We're staying at Chris's mum and stepdad's overnight, so we'll see them during the day, and it's his stepdad's birthday, so obviously we'll be celebrating that as well as Mother's Day and ordering a takeaway. So that'll be a bit more chill. But I just kind of want to lay in. But it's okay. I'll get one next weekend probably. The clocks change next weekend as well, so we'll lose an hour of sleep. But I can't wait for summer now. I mean, the sun's out now, but it has been such a gloomy, cloudy week. But anyway, yeah, I'll stop rambling on. I'll try and get some more reading done over the weekend. I might even finish this book really early, because as I say, it's quite short, so I might even be picking out a new book early next week. We'll see how much reading I get done over the weekend. I'll try and do some in the car and stuff, but yeah. I will catch up with you in a few days' time. Bye. Morning guys, happy Monday. Sorry for not giving any other updates since probably Friday. It's been one of those weeks and one of those weekends where, oh god, I'm just so tired now. I need another weekend just to recover, but yeah, it's been alright. Reading update. So I've got about 100 pages left on my borrow box version of Sea of Tranquility. I'm enjoying it. I wish it was a little bit more action packed. Maybe it will be towards the end, but I like it so far. I like the time travel aspect. I don't really read enough about time travel and things like that, and yeah, I can't really give too much away about why they're time travelling, but yeah, it's good. Enjoying that. And I'm on about, I think it was chapter 6 of Educated, which I've not really had much chance to listen to any more of that either, because I've kind of got into a Taylor Swift grind at the minute. So she released those 4 new songs, Taylor's versions and one new one. Was it on Thursday? And since then I've just been playing all of her songs over and over and over again. I'm part of the reason why she's the #1 most streamed artist at the minute. And oh my god, my Twitter, I haven't seen actually any on TikTok, but my Twitter is full of Taylor Swift videos and posts. And can she just come to the UK? Taylor, if you see this, you're not going to see this, but if you see this, please come to the UK, because me and my boyfriend and a couple of friends are just waiting to buy tickets, okay? And whatever it costs, okay, as long as it's not like £1 a ticket, whatever it costs we're paying. So like, yeah, come to the UK please, hurry up. Yeah, what? I know she's doing it for a reason. I know she's like the marketing queen. I know as a marketing person, marketing is everything for selling tickets and all that, and it's obviously working for her. Like releasing those songs just for her first date obviously has worked to get her boosted even on Sci-Fi, let alone people going to see her and sharing her online. But she just needs to come to the UK and announce international dates and do multiple UK dates, because I know that London is your biggest listener base in the world, so you can't just do one London date and then F off over to Europe. You need to do at least 2 or 3 London dates, because I'll be at one of them. You need to go to like Birmingham, you need to go up north to like Manchester or Liverpool, at least one of those. You need to go down south to like, I don't know, Bristol or somewhere. just come to the UK, do multiple dates, and I'll be happy. Anyway, yeah, this weekend, so if you watch Rugby Union, you'll know Six Nations was on. Very big date in the calendar year for every rugby fan, literally. Or even if you're not a big rugby fan, you'll still watch the Six Nations pretty much. So on Saturday they were playing all 3 games. So I was drunk, so I can't really remember the full lineup. England were playing Ireland, Wales were playing France, and Scotland were playing Italy. That was a good game actually. The Scotland-Italy game, that was the first one. That was good, very fun watch. Then Wales lost and then England lost. Obviously I don't really support those other teams, I only support England, but I will support the rest of the UK unless it ruins our chances. But I still supported Scotland against the Italy game, so it's what it is. But I think England played really well, and the 3 Saints players played incredibly. So you had Ludlam, who was vice captain, he was really good, he was there, flawless. Same with Ribbons, he was flawless. And then Mitchell, I kept saying they should have brought him on at 60 minutes, but they didn't. But again, flawless for the 8 minutes he was on the pitch. But it was a good day. And then so the rugby started at 12 at 12:30. We were at the pub from 12, then we went on a pub crawl, and then we went to this weird pub with a nightclub thing. It's not really a nightclub, but it was a bit rubbish. So we left there about 1 a.m. and managed to get an Uber back home, which is rare. There's no Ubers in the towns around here, or towns even around where my other half's from. So I don't know. The driver said something about the train strikes, meaning he had to travel from London to back town to drop a customer off, and then we managed to catch him just before he was about to leave, so we decided to drop us back to where we're from as well, which was really good, really nice of him, and it wasn't too expensive. We were expecting it to be 30 quid and it was just under half of that, so yeah, it was good. But I'm just so tired now. And then yesterday we were my other half's stepdad's birthday and also Mother's Day, so we spent the day with his family and had some amazing cake. His mum's a really good cake baker, so we had that, and yeah. Oh, and sorry that there was no main video last week. Not that anyone really expects me to upload. I haven't got a big watcher base at the minute, but a big viewer base, let's just say. But I was going to try to do something, I just did not have time. Yeah, the only time I've had to have done it was Friday, which would involve recording, editing, and then uploading, which would take at least 2-3 hours. I didn't have that time, especially as I needed to do these, which take me 2 hours. So I was doing these and watching Elite instead. Has anyone watched Elite? It's like a Spanish rich kid murder mystery, I call them. I really like watching rich kid murder mysteries. I need to try and read some books. I've got one of the best is lying over there, but I've already watched a TV show, so I need to give that a bit of time to forget what happens. But yeah, I like my rich kid murder mysteries apparently, and I really enjoy it. So, and I like the format. You kind of get at the start of each episode sort of someone has died, you don't know who's died, but you'll see like one of the characters like crying or something, and you'll think, oh, maybe it was them, and then the episode will sort of revolve around the situation with that character, and then that character will say, I think it was Sammy because I saw him arguing with her 2 weeks ago or whatever, and then it will show what actually happened in that situation. So yeah, it's really good, really interesting. It is Spanish, so yeah, I watch it dubbed, even though the dub isn't brilliant, but I was watching it dubbed with English subtitles, and these subtitles weren't matching up with the dubbing, and because I normally watch things while I'm eating, that's the only time I usually get to watch TV, I couldn't have it with just subtitles. So yeah, it's good. I highly recommend. And we finished season 1 of Shadow and Bone last night and started watching season 2, and we're enjoying it so far. We thought the events in episode 2 was a bit rushed. I've not read the books, but I have seen people saying it's not really matching the books very well, and they're not sure how they're going to do another season, because I'm pretty sure this season is book 2 and 3 of Shadow and Bone series, and then bits of Crooked Kingdom. So I'm not sure how they're going to do the final season they're going to do, which is just Crooked Kingdom, if they're using a lot of Crooked Kingdom in this. But I've not read Crooked God, it's a mouthful to say. I've not read Crooked Kingdom, so I can't comment. But it did feel like it's quite rushed, and I'm assuming we've probably already finished Siege and Storm. I think that's the second book, just from what happened in this episode. But we're enjoying it though, that's the main thing. It's fun, it's relaxed, well, not relaxing, but it's fun to watch. I like the character growth. I'm liking seeing all crows together. It's quite interesting, but well, almost all the crows together, because they're not all together yet. But yeah, it's a good show. Highly recommend watching, even if you've not read the books. I will say that. But yeah, anyway, right, I need to start work now. That's just my quick update. I should finish this book probably within the next day or two, and then I can have the vlog up on Wednesday. So I'll pick out my next one, which it'll probably be my last one. How long have we got left of this month? I don't know, depends on what the final book is. I might be able to get 2 books read in the next, we'll see. But anyway, yeah. Happy Monday. Let's go back to work. We can do it. Another week, another work week. So last night I finished The Sea of Tranquility by Emily St John Mandel. Obviously I read it, as you already know, on borrowed box, so it was from my library. So I don't have a physical copy, so I'll have it up on the screen here. Yes, I finished it. In the end I decided to give it 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it, but I thought it was quite slow. It wasn't really as action driven as I tend to like my sci-fis. It was very well written, it was very pretty writing. I just wish it had a little bit more action, but I don't think the action would have worked for it anyway. And it's going to be really hard to review without giving a huge spoiler away, because a lot of the story, it's a time travel story. I probably could have guessed the ending. I saw some reviews where people had guessed the ending. But yeah, it was different, I would say. I need to read more time travel stories, I think. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I've given it, 3.5 stars, round up to 4 stars on Goodreads, but I gave it 3.5 on Storygraph. I've probably pretty much given a bit of a synopsis throughout this vlog anyway, but I'll go into more detail. So basically, how do I explain this without giving a spoiler away? So basically it starts with 3 different characters. So you have a man who's in 1912 in Canada. You have a woman who's trying to find out what happened to one of her friends. She went missing. This was in 2020, January 2020. And then you have another woman who's an author who wrote a pandemic style story, and she's doing a book tour on Earth in something like 2203, something like that, so about 200 years away from now. And she's doing a book tour on Earth, and there's inklings of a pandemic happening. Although in the end the pandemics didn't really have much of an impact on the story, so I'm not really sure why they're all thrown in there, apart from them not mentioning it in the 1912 story. But I'm pretty sure that's when the Spanish flu may have started, so who knows. But anyway, basically all those stories sort of merge together based on another character who's in, is it 2400 and something? He is a time traveller. You find that out quite quickly, because he does meet at least 2 of the characters in the story. But yeah, as I say, it's quite a lyrical story. It's not as action driven as, say, Betty Chambers or Andy Weir or anyone like that. But if you like a cosy, quite relatively fast paced sci-fi, then definitely give that a read. It's quite short. I believe it's around 200 pages. As I say, my copy was on Borrowed Box, so it was the number of pages based on how many pages you scroll across on your phone. So it's not like physical pages. But some of the chapters were literally, one of them had 4 lines on it. The chapters are really nice and short. I like short chapters. The one I'm reading currently, which I'll mention in a sec, has really long chapters, and it kind of throws me off. It's long chapters without a gap in them as well. So sometimes I like to read like one part of the chapter, if that makes sense. And then you can read up to a point and you can close your phone or your book and walk away. Can't do that with this one. But yeah, overall, I'm glad I read it. And I will definitely give, I think it's Station 11 is the other one. I will give that a read. I'll add that to my list to read, because maybe that'd be more action-packed. But yeah, 3.5 stars for The Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. So as I've hinted at already, I have already started my next book. And again, like what I did last time, I picked out the book yesterday in case I needed to order it. So I'll put that clip in here. So it's past Bethany here. I'm about to finish my book tonight, so I need to get the next one ordered if I need to order it, or get it installed on my Kindle ready to read, so we'll see what happens. So I've got the basket here. The numbers are getting quite low now. I was thinking of putting it into like a smaller dish, but because, I don't know if you can see, they keep like folding into each other. So I think chances are I'm probably not going to pick out a non-fiction, because I think there's only one left in there. It actually might be Bad Gaze, but it's fine. Right, so I've shaken them all up. I can't actually see, but I'll close my eyes anyway. What we got next? Oh, right, so it's a fiction, I'm guessing. Not that they're colour coded, but I'm pretty sure the pink and the yellow were both non-fiction. So it should be fiction. Oh, okay, I'm happy with this, because I wanted to read this author. So my next read is a romance one. It's Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I mean, if I didn't take it out here, I was hoping to pick it up for my when I'm on holiday and read it there. But I am happy. I wanted to read a bit of Emily Henry, so we're going to do a bit of romance, and yeah, that's my next read. So yes, I am reading Beach Read by Emily Henry, which was a very happy choice for me, because I was planning on reading all of her books this year. I mean, I was planning on taking them with me on holiday and buying them on Kindle and then just sitting there reading them, but whatever, I can read the first one now, it's fine. Obviously this one came out last year, so it's not her first one that she's written. So I will go back to the others, and she's got one coming out, I think it's next month, which sounds right up my street because it's a fake relationship style romance, which I quite like. I don't know if you can see the To All the Boys books behind me, but I like that concept and that style, that trope, I guess is the right word. So I've made a start on that. I think I've read about 3 chapters in the prologue and I'm finding it enjoyable so far. It's quite funny. They're hinting at other things happening that we haven't been told about yet, and past relationships and things, but yeah, it's good so far. But I'll save all this for the beach read vlog, which means I'm going to be uploading probably 3 videos next week, so we'll also have my April TBR and my wrap up for this month. But obviously you pretty much know everything I've read this month anyway, but there's a few others on there that I haven't really mentioned too much, so I'll mention them. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. Look out for my next vlog, which will hopefully be going up about this time next week, and I will speak to you in the next one. Goodbye.